Congressional District 3 Republican candidate Kevin Kiley.
So I mentioned the endorsement of the former president earlier, and because of redistricting, things have changed a bit from 2016 to 2020 to this election. But California Target Book came out with new numbers based on the past couple presidential elections. So I want to get you to react to them. So in 2016, President Trump won this district little over 50% to Hillary Clinton's 42.5%. 2020, Biden versus Trump. Trump got 49.7%, Biden got 47.9%, so about a 2-point difference there. Are you concerned that maybe the Trump endorsement might not be a good thing, or do you welcome that?
Well, I've gotten endorsements from people all across the board. I got an endorsement from the former governor of California, yes, from the former president, from dozens and dozens, that's right,
yeah.
of leaders at the city level, at the school board level, at the county board of supervisors level, Democrats, Republicans, people without a party affiliation. So I welcome as much support as possible from as broad a coalition as possible. And that's reflective of the approach that I'm going to take as a member of Congress. I'm not going to be someone who says, well, if you voted for this person for president, then I don't want to deal with you. I'm going to represent people who voted for Joe Biden. I'm going to represent people who voted for Donald Trump. And I'm going to seek to build consensus as much as I can to get our country moving in a new direction. Because I think there is a consensus in this district that that's what we need, that we're on the wrong track.
When you say you have Democrats who vote for you, I mean, you don't seem like a candidate that a Democrat would vote for. So what's your sort of pitch to them? What's your conversations like with them?
Well, no, actually, I've had a lot of people who've even supported my campaign, have donated in my campaign, who've said that the only person that we've donated to before is Bernie Sanders. Now, you're right. I don't seem like the kind of guy that Bernie-crats would come and want to support, but they saw that I was fighting to reopen schools, for example. They saw that their kids were kept out of school for no good reason for months and months, for well over a year in some cases. And I was working with folks here in our community to get kids back to school. And so I think that's what has been motivating the broad base of support that we've gotten for our campaign, is that this isn't about partisanship. I'm not a representative who's just going to go and promote the party line across the board. I'm going to look at each issue individually and evaluate what is best for the folks that I represent, which I think is the reason that when you look at how I've done as a member of the legislature, I've gotten more votes, in fact, for a Republican than any for a member of the Assembly than any candidate in California history, is because we've been able to build that broad base of support.
What is something that folks might not know about you that might surprise them?
Might not know about me? Oh man, let's see. Well, I guess people don't know that I was an aspiring basketball player as a kid, and that was kind of what I spent all my time on up until my glorious career ended in 9th grade when I was cut from the team. And so I did end up playing tennis in high school, though, and played soccer as well, and do enjoy playing sports when I find time for it these days, although the last few years haven't been a lot of spare time, given everything that we've been fighting for. But no, as I mentioned before, I grew up in this area. I went to here from elementary school on. I was the 5th graduating class at my high school. And so I have a very deep understanding of what it is that makes our communities work. And I know that some of the policies that we've seen come at us from Sacramento and that are now coming at us from Washington, D.C., are at odds with what folks in our area want. And so that is one of maybe the greatest power you can have as a representative, even if you're part of a super minority, by the way, is to try to set the tone, to set an example. And that's what I want to try to do as a member of Congress as well, to maintain the quality of life that we have here, so that folks will continue to want to move here rather than move out of the state, like so many people in other parts of California are. And I feel incredibly privileged and blessed to have grown up in this area, and I just want to make sure that kids growing up today have those same opportunities.